It is my pleasure to welcome up our synagogue president, Hamilton Lempert, for some remarks on this Kol Nidre.
Shana Tova. And good evening. I would like to start by thanking you for coming this evening to listen to my speech and the small incidental service accompanying it. As I get older, I realize that time is the most precious gift we have, and I'm deeply grateful that you've chosen to share your time with our community tonight. I also want to thank you for your generous contributions during last year's High Holiday Appeal. I'll give you a little foreshadowing. In about 10 minutes, I'll be asking you once again to help ensure that ADITH remains strong in the year ahead. Last year, I spoke about creating happiness in your life, not just the pleasant feeling that people get after doing something fun, but true happiness that is achieved by having purpose, satisfaction, and enjoyment in your life. Over this last year, I have heard from many of you by how concentrating on family, work, faith, and friendship, you have discovered a greater sense of happiness, but also I have heard from some of you that my speech created some anxiety. I said that having a purpose leads to happiness. I understand that it is a tall order to imagine a purpose grand enough to satisfy the requirement of creating true meaning and happiness in your life. Let me see if I can more clearly define the type of purpose I'm speaking about. I read a book called The Purpose Code by Jordan Grummett. He is a hospice physician who has accompanied people at the end of their lives. He found that 91% of people have some level of anxiety because they felt they never found their purpose and didn't know how to find it. He goes on to contend that most people are looking for a big purpose as opposed to a small purpose. What is the difference? A big purpose is pass or fail. Big purpose is about killing it, earning titles, reaching lofty goals, or setting expectations so high they feel just out of your reach. I've set some of those for myself, like get into medical school or become chief resident. Those big purposes in my life served a function. But if I had not achieved them, I would have felt like a failure. Even worse, if I had set a goal in which I had little or no agency, like solving hunger or homelessness in Cincinnati, I would almost be guaranteeing myself a sense of failure. Setting myself up to experience failure would not add to my happiness. Small purpose is not pass or fail. Small purpose is less about grand accomplishments and more about the path to success. Small purpose is about creating experiences that make you feel better about yourself. Some examples of small purposes from my life are: I strive to learn more about Judaism. I want to give back to the community that has given me so much. These purposes can be accomplished by showing up, participating in life, by being engaged. These small purposes aren't finish lines. They are a journey to be experienced as opposed to an end in and of itself. I'm not saying that a small purpose is easy, but it is a constant, positive feedback loop that breeds success, satisfaction, and happiness. Sometimes a big purpose is unavoidable, such as find a new rabbi for ADITH. But even in that endeavor, I broke it down into small purposes, such as have a town hall to see what the congregation is looking for in a rabbi. You can do the same. The truth is, small purposes can often be the most transformative. They shape not only us, but the generations that follow. When we have children in our lives who are important to us, be they our own children, our students, our relatives, or friends' children, we receive so much joy from their happiness. How many of us became social workers because someone influential in our lives was a social worker? How many of us became teachers because of the influence of someone else who was a teacher? Your deep-seated happiness in your career can leave an impression and influence a child. This does make me wonder a little bit about my own influence, since neither of my children became doctors. But my family has lived the life of helping others, and both of my kids are involved in making the world a better place. So we obviously passed on some aspect of what we consider to be important. We read in the Torah that the sins of the father will be passed on generation to generation, but the opposite is true as well. The positive impact that you leave will be felt for generations to come. What do you want to pass on to the next generation or the community in general? I'm suggesting that you can find purpose and happiness right here at Adath Israel. Being here tonight, most of you probably have some desire to connect with Judaism. The history, the spirituality, the mitzvot, the sense of community. If you want, you could create a big purpose about this, or a small purpose. A big purpose would be, I will be on the board in 5 years, or I will be honored by a Jewish organization. A small purpose would be about taking some aspect that you enjoy and incorporating that into the activities that you choose to participate in on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. If you enjoy socializing, then a small purpose would be, I will attend some social activity at Adath. If you enjoy learning, I will attend some educational activity at Adath. By the way, Rabbi Shafran is a very good teacher. If you don't know what you really enjoy, then just show up to things and see if it strikes a chord. Sometimes fear holds us back. Fear of not knowing anyone, fear of looking silly, fear of being ostracized, fear of the unknown. Every person has felt that fear at one time or another. If you attend, you will be in good company. Will Rogers said, a stranger is just a friend I haven't met yet. There are lots of future friends here at Adath Israel. I want to give some concrete examples, so here is one. We are a participatory congregation. Our congregants lead services and read Torah and Haftorah. You could set up a big purpose of, I will lead services. Or you could set a small purpose. I will become more familiar with the service by attending more regularly. We have lots of options every week. You might be surprised that over time, attending services becomes an integral part of your week. The social connections you make, especially by attending in person, can lead to lifelong friendships. If you attend and your familiarity grows, you might find yourself with the experience to perform an ark opening, or then an English reading, and then an aliyah, and potentially even lead a part of the service. Small steps can lead to big accomplishments. They say it takes 2 to 8 months to build a habit. The more frequent the activity, the less time it takes. You might find that after a few times of doing things, that it becomes a part of your life's routine. The question is, how are you spending the precious time that you have? Do your activities align with your small purpose, things that bring you joy? There are so many activities and groups here at Adath that can help you find or fulfill your purpose. Sisterhood, brotherhood, circle of friends, our group for those mourning the loss of a loved one, volunteering for a committee or an event can all provide the social outlet that so many of us are looking for in this disconnected world. As I said last year, studies have shown that having a purpose in your life, small purpose or big purpose, can add 7 years to your life and improve your happiness. Some other concrete examples: volunteer to be the smiling face that greets our members and guests on Shabbat morning as a Shalom Squad greeter. Make our community strong by serving on a committee such as the Green Team, Social Action, or Advocacy or Yurtzeit reminder calls. Take time to be present in your life and live it with intention and purpose. The rewards are amazing. As we say in services when we announce a new month, we pray for a long life, a life filled with goodness, blessing, peace, sustenance, health, abundance, honor, and love. This year, set a small purpose to be moving towards happiness in the coming year. and take the steps to achieve it with the help of your Adith Israel community. And now for the second part of my speech. I've spoken about how Adith can be a place to help foster the small purposes in your life, leading to happiness. In order to have a place like Adith, we need to pay some bills. How much does it actually cost to have a place like Adith Israel? Well, last year as an organization, we spent $2.5 million. Where did that money go? Most, $1.3 million, was to our amazing staff who care for our children, our community, and building. About $500,000 was spent on running and maintaining our building and grounds. Our water, gas, and electric bill alone was $130,000. The next biggest chunk, about $375,000, was spent on administrative expenses, such as security, insurance, printing, advertising, and professional services. Then we have catering, religious, and social activities. All in all, it costs about $4,400 per member unit to do all that we do. How do we cover these costs? The main way is through dues. About half of our expenses are covered by dues. I want to thank everyone for paying your dues to keep our doors open. Adith would not be able to exist without your financial support. I would especially like to thank our philanthropic donors, supporters, builders, and benefactors who give more than the regular dues, going above and beyond to support Adith. The other half of operations comes from a variety of sources. The Jewish Foundation generously supports our operations. Thank you to the Jewish Foundation and for helping us and many other Jewish organizations here in Cincinnati. We have an endowment that we draw upon every year. We charge tuition for our children to attend religious school and fees to help support meals at social events. But to be honest, those fees and tuition do not come close to offsetting the actual cost of the school or events. One of our biggest sources of income is this high holiday appeal. This speech and your response to it right now is responsible for allowing us to meet our budget or not. Here is a small purpose with a big impact you can fulfill right now. Participate in the high holiday appeal. I'm not telling you how much to donate, but the more the better. If you have never participated before, then let this be the first time. You'll do something that you can look back upon with warmth for the rest of the year. Each family was given a donation card when you arrived tonight. The cards have a spot for as little as $18. The cost of a movie given by enough new donors will make a tangible difference. For those who have participated before, consider increasing your donation for this year, perhaps by additionally folding down the $18 tab or even a higher one. With your generous contribution tonight, we will continue to provide the services and activities that have brought purpose and happiness to many people's lives. But that's only part of what we'll do. Leadership's small purpose is to provide new, creative, and engaging program that will appeal to all sorts of people looking to add purpose to their lives. In order to do that, we need your financial help. The Dalai Lama said, "Our prime purpose in life is to help others." I am asking you to help Adith Israel so that Adith can help you and others achieve purpose and happiness. I hope that you will be both a donor and a participant in a truly purposeful, meaningful, and happy life. Members of the executive committee will circulate and collect the donation cards that were given to you when you arrived. If you are online, please click the donate button to be contacted by a staff member after the holiday. Lastly, for those who are watching this as a recording, please go to adith-israel.org, and under giving is a choice for the high holiday appeal. Thank you for your time, your presence, and your generosity this evening. I hope you will be sealed in the book of life, the book of happiness, and are able to fulfill many small purposes this coming year. Shana Tova and Garma Hatima Tova.